Oop. We'll just start with it for now. What up, guys? You're listening to I Woke Up For This with your host, me, Blaze Kautzman. We'll see if Marquay's a sleepy boy today, I think. Or he might just barge in here with a gun. I don't know. We got Josh Boyle in here with us from Phoenix, Arizona.
What's going on, Fargo? Happy to be here.
He just got done ice skating.
Yeah.
Decided he should come up here. What is the temperature down there now?
Oh, man, in Phoenix, I think when we left, it was like around 112, 115 degrees, and it's only going to get hotter.
What do you do on those days?
Just like you guys in the winter, we stay inside, or, you know what, we just stay inside. It's too hot to do anything. Maybe catch a comedy show.
Yeah.
Maybe catch a movie. I know that sounds kind of lame, but you just got to go where the AC is because you got to survive the heat.
Wait, do you go to a lot of comedy? Wait, obviously you go to a lot of comedy shows. You go to a lot of movies, like in theaters?
We try to. I mean, at least once a month. We're really looking forward to that new Jurassic Park.
Dude, they actually don't just have bugs in that new one.
Yeah, right?
That bugged me on that one.
That opening scene of the last one, that was freaky.
Well, and like the whole like one of the last ones was pretty much just like, this is about bugs. I'm like, I want it to be dinosaurs.
Yeah.
I want to live in constant fear of dinosaurs coming back.
Yeah. Well, that's why we're going to go see that new one, because I think that's definitely what's going to happen. And they have that. They're doing with the new actor, too. Oh, she was in all the Marvel movies as the Avenger, Black Widow. I'm blanking on her name.
Olsen. Right? No, wait, Black Widow. Black Widow, Avengers.
Scarlett Johansson?
Yeah.
Scarlett, yeah. So she looks like she's going to bring a totally different element to this.
Yeah. Yeah. Old Scarlett. Man, she's so hot. What kind of movies do you like? I guess action, dinosaur movies?
Action, comedy, action.
Yeah. What's your favorite dinosaur?
Oh, man. I'm going to have to go with the OG T-Rex.
You can't beat it.
You can't beat it. That's like the childhood scary monster, you know what I mean? Like, just growing up being like, I never want to see that in the wild.
Yeah,
like,
but then you grew, I don't know. It was always like the T-Rex was the best, but that was like halfway is just because it's one of the few that you knew. And then you found out about the Velociraptor, and for some reason you're like, that Velociraptor rips.
Yeah. Okay, it's a tie between T-Rex and the Velociraptor without a doubt, because Jurassic Park 2 is when they really like opened up the whole Velociraptor.
Yeah.
You saw a little bit in, Jurassic Park 1, but the Jurassic Park 2 was like the real.
Yeah.
But you can't go wrong with the Jurassic Park 1 with the T-Rex.
Yeah.
When he like one of the beginning scenes where he goes down on the bathroom and he just rips the bathroom apart and you see the guy.
Newman. He eats Newman. Said goes down in the bathroom, and I was like, I don't know if you want to do that.
Right. Yeah,
I've done it. I've done it. I've done it in the bathroom, but
there's so many good memes from that movie too. But Jurassic Park, I love that. I love comedies. I mean, they're going to be that new Happy Gilmore 2 on Netflix.
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
I wonder, it's a way that they could start getting people into movie theaters again, is being like, we're going to play Netflix at the movie theater for the premiere. Why don't they do that? You could team up with movie theaters and not lose the nostalgia of movie theaters.
Okay, I think really what the movie theater like industry should do is contact Gary Vee and be like, what do we got to do? Because when Toys R Us was closing, he had all these great ideas for them that they didn't go with, and we see what happened. So it's like, how do we get other stuff into the movies and bring people back to the movies, man? Like it's missing right now.
Truly. Do that, or actually just get play like old silent movies and then actually have like a band down on the corner.
Yeah. I'm waiting for them to bring like WrestleMania to the movies or something like that, being able to watch like pay-per-views in the movie theater or something. You know what I mean? Like, what's the new business model for movie theaters? I
think we're solving it right now.
Yeah.
We actually shouldn't be saying this live on the radio. We should be. We should actually just be keeping this to ourselves and then marketing it,
right?
Making millions.
Pitch this ourselves to movies.
Yeah. No, that's those are some other ideas. You have any other like big brain ideas that you ever thought of, like inventions or anything like that?
Oh man. Off the top of my head, for inventions, honestly, what I'm just trying to do, it's kind of like reinventing the wheel, but we got a streaming plug, and what I'm trying to do is get more comedy on like Amazon Prime and stuff like that.
Okay.
So I just shot a special for a comic in Phoenix named Jared Quay Campbell, and he rented out the Phoenix Art Center.
Okay.
We were talking with the program director over there, and they're like, do you know any other comics that need to do this?
Yep.
So immediately the light bulb went off, and I was just like, wait, what if we can do, like, have you ever seen the Netflix, the Degenerates special?
Yeah.
I was like, what if we can do that?
Yeah, because I had like Christina P. and Joey Diaz and all like that.
Exactly.
That's a good idea. Streaming plug, I just thought of like they put a plug in and then if they open their mouth, you can just stream a video.
Exactly. There we go. Now we're talking.
Yeah, then you get other industries in it, you know?
Yeah. I would do that, yeah. I like it.
Like you put in your streaming plugs, like, whoop, wah, and then it's just a
straight
projector.
Yeah, man. But other than that, I would say just trying to, I don't know, like the more and more you get into comedy and kind of like finding business models for that, you find new ways to reinvent content or push other people forward in the scene.
Yep.
Stuff like that.
Heck
You're just like, okay, what would, if I was a viewer, what would I want to see?
Yeah, that makes sense. Dude, every once in a while I think that I have really good ideas on things. And then I was thinking about, well, it was like the government stuff or whatever. What was I thinking about? I had it to where I was like, you know what we should do is not like pay taxes and then just like pay a little bit around the areas that we do. And then I'm like, oh, but some people would probably be like, wouldn't all want to agree. So we'd probably have to appoint a couple people. And then I just then I was like, oh, that's just government. I was like, this is, and then I'm like, oh no, this is exactly what we have. Maybe they kind of got it down.
That's funny. I know sometimes I'll wake up with an idea and I'll be like, this is the best idea in the world. And I'll be like, oh man, no, that was just on what I was watching before I went to bed.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I've been going to bed watching just like 48 hours. I've been going to bed just watching things all murder mysteries that women watch recently. Because here's the thing, the voice is soothing on those.
Really?
Like the talk. Yeah, like the overlay and talking on like 48 hours, the guy has like a soothing, nice voice, and it's not too, it's like, this is what's happening now. They would have 2 more hours to find the person while everyone else, and then even the people that usually like the audio levels are good enough to where it's fine. It's good to sleep to. But
that is funny.
No, it rules. But then I wake up dreaming of like getting murdered, like every single night. I'm waking up not having good sleep because I'm waking up multiple times with nightmares, and I don't stop. It's like I don't learn well.
Oh my God, that is so funny. So you're going to bed by like a murder narration voice that's soothing for you. Then like you're getting all these crazy dreams. Like
yeah, and it's not like I'm not going to bed being like this story rules, you know. But I'm like the actual like. Yeah, the content within it is not really what I like. It's just that voice.
God, oh, wow. I was going to say because, yeah, I'm not really into the murder mystery thing either. I get not like depressed, but sometimes like weirded out when you see how far people go with that stuff. But,
yeah.
So, yeah, but I do love a good like podcast or something before I go to bed. So I'm with you on the tone of the voice. Content?
Yeah, that's the thing. Well, I listen to a lot of different podcasts and stuff, but the thing if it's something that I'm interested in, then I stay up.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
No, that's.
And I can't be alone with my thoughts.
Ooh.
Because then I stay up way too late. I'm like, there's nothing worse than me alone with my thoughts. Because then I'm just scared all night. I start thinking about the concept of forever, and
which leads to some insomnia. And then you're just like, oh my God, yeah, it's 5 o'clock in the morning. I got to get up or something. Yeah, no, I feel that.
It's a scary. Yeah, dude. That's why I got to go on stage and get all these thoughts out, you know, because if I'm lay awake with them.
That's like the best use for the stage sometimes. You just wake up feeling messed up, and then you're just like, how do I translate this to on stage now?
Yeah.
Because there's humor in it, and I know other people are relating.
Yep.
So I got to talk about it.
Oh, yeah. Well, hopefully I'm not the only crazy one. That's always my thinking.
You know what? Isn't that the best thing? Like, sometimes when I go to a comedy show and the comic on stage will bring out something, and you're like, yeah, I thought about that too.
Oh yeah.
Thank God I'm not the only person that blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Think about that. But then I also like every time I have a thought, I'm always like, I can't be the first one to think about this. And then I worry too much that someone else has.
Oh my God. I worry about that
bids.
when you write a good joke.
Yeah.
And you're like,
all the time.
You're like, wait a second. I just came up with this in 2 minutes. I probably got to go deeper on this subject.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everyone's got a girlfriend.
Hack. Yeah. 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 Well, yeah, a bit I've been working out recently. I don't know. It's just, I've just been thinking about like rappers, okay, and they always have like their diss tracks and stuff. Everyone's like, this diss track goes super hard, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm like, sure, whatever, but what rappers are doing is just like their friend made fun of them, and they're just leaving being like, oh no, like tight grasping the wheel, being like, oh, I should have said that. And then they go on and they write it. It's not like they're going back and forth for the most part, you know, and then everyone's like, he's amazing. I'm like, that took him 3 weeks.
Right. I know. I often think about like that with our comedy roast battles.
Oh, yep.
They got roast battles up here in Fargo?
We're doing a roast battle in September, I believe. Marquay actually will be hosting that.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, not a ton of roast battles. We just don't have, really enough comics up. We have a good scene up here, but there's probably like 20 some here that are like, there's probably 20 some that go to the open mic. So you factor down how many people are open mic comics to like,
and roasting is a totally different muscle.
So then by the time you get it all factored down, it's kind of a different. We usually have one roast of someone a year.
Okay, gotcha.
So this one we'll pick someone from a couple of years ago. We had like, we did the roast of Cold Sweat, who's like he's a super good rapper. Here he has like a band called High Lie. If you guys check them out if you haven't.
Shout out.
Yeah. So then we did him a couple years ago. Last year, who did we do? I think. Oh, we did Marquay last year. Marquay is a hard person. I wish he was in here, but he's a hard person to roast because he's too nice.
That's the
you're
word.
You're like, dude, he's actually like a good person. All the rest of us, I was like, yeah, roast me. Like, but like you go up there and everyone was like had roast jokes about everyone else on the panel, and Marquay, everyone's like, you're a great father, and you're always there for your family and friends. You know, it's like, dang, I guess we got to find some crappier people.
That's funny. Yeah, what is it? Phoenix just got picked up by the Roast Battle League, like, I think it was like 6 months ago. So it's very interesting to see all of our friends go head to head.
Oh, nice.
And one of the things our host does is ask them, like, you know, why do you guys want to roast each other?
Yeah.
Hearing those responses are a lot of fun.
Yeah, because that's another thing, too, is to roast people. Every once in a while, we're like, well, maybe we could get a roast battle against like some Minneapolis comics. And we have good relationships with a lot of Minneapolis guys. They come down here a lot. But at the same time, you're like, I still don't know them as well to like roast.
Yeah.
You kind of need a special-ish relationship to actually roast people.
Yeah. And people don't realize it too, but if you have a new roast, person that you're going against that you've never met before, that's a great opportunity to connect with someone new, because it's so fun to like say call that person up, or if they're in your city, go get coffee with them and be like, hey, tell me about you. What can I roast?
I never really
give me
thought
the dirt
about
on
that.
yourself.
Yeah, I'm always like big ears, gap tooth. What else do you want? Like,
right.
Yeah, that's a hard thing, along with roast battles too, just to figure out. It can't all be physical stuff. You actually got to find things out about people.
Yep. Shout out to Randall Rosie. He's a Phoenix comic. He had some really deep cutting roasts about his the person he went against last year, and I think the clips are coming out like next week or something, so I can't say exactly what he said, but it was like, woo, some funny stuff that you would just be like, wow. He went against our friend Jocelyn, who's another Phoenix comic, and just
roast battle. I know they have like roast battle Chicago.
Yep.
Well, they also have that at the Mothership too. Is that kind of aligned with all three of those, or do you have?
Yeah. So the headquarters, I would say, would be like the Comedy Store in L.A. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
yeah.
Brian Moses.
Yep.
And then you have kind of like I don't know if they want to call it like the B League, but you have all the like Phoenix, Philly, Tokyo even.
Okay.
And pretty much all those other littler cities that are considered like the B League, where they go head to head in their own scene and then they go to LA.
Gotcha.
So we've had a couple people from Phoenix go to LA, and they're on like their Instagram and YouTube channel and stuff like that. So
Nice.
we're trying to get people famous out here. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
right. That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
You get those and then some don't tells and stuff.
Yeah. What's good with the don't tell scene out here?
I mean, there's don't tell in like Minneapolis, Chicago, things like that. Fargo, again, just a little bit too. Well, I think we had a couple people talking to people about don't tell, but we kind of got to figure stuff out there. Same thing where like the Cellar is the club here that's just it's such an amazing club, and we have comedy shows here every weekend, and then the Market isn't necessarily halfway big enough around here for that. I mean, like you can get them, but then it's just like, there's so much stuff going on. You kind of got, we just got to figure out a way to do different things like that.
Yeah.
But then it's also not being around here every weekend and such. Like, what do you got to have someone to run it. Actually, having someone to run it might be the biggest thing.
No, I get it. They have a shout out to Don't Tell. They got a great team. They're also in a bunch of different cities, like you just mentioned.
Yeah.
Phoenix is definitely one of them, and I love their business model, bro. Like,
yeah.
You know what? It kind of feels like comedy is like punk rock, where it's totally do it yourself.
Yeah.
And Don't Tell is doing that, and they've gotten a name. They've spread their brand, and now they're making specials. Chappelle Lacey has a special from them.
Yeah.
And he was a Phoenix comic. He's in LA now. He's touring. He's
I think
regular.
I think Aiden McCluskey just filmed one of those.
Did he?
Yeah, or at least he at least filmed it. I don't know if they put every single one out, but yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah, and being a videographer myself, seeing them seeing their formula inspires the heck out of me. You know what I mean? Where you're just like, oh, okay.
In Minneapolis, they had ones in like skate parks and stuff.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So let's talk about that model, right? You go to essentially any style of business or venue, and you throw up a comedy.
Yep.
Where, like you said, it was a skate park or skate store.
No, skate park.
Skate park. Wow, that's freaking cool.
Yeah.
We did one at a skate shop. We did one at like a yoga center. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it really kind of helps you broaden your eyes and just like thoughts of where can you produce a comedy show.
Yep.
And it kind of ties back to like, remember back in like the 80s and 90s when like the OG comedy shows would be like at Chinese restaurants and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, bring that back.
It is kind of fun producing shows and just figuring out. I mean, we kind of do that. I mean, obviously they're not don't tells because it's not like get the location same day and stuff. But yeah, just finding new bars and stuff to go to is always a pretty good time.
People don't realize how much time and how hard that is too. Like you really got to be on the business and.
Yeah. Oh yeah, making the posters,
doing
everything. Like you don't realize. Then just figuring out where you want to promote, how you're going to promote.
Exactly. What's the ROI for the venue? All that stuff that you don't take into consideration when you're writing that punchline.
Yeah. A lot of the stuff we do. I mean, work out a lot of door deals and stuff too, where it's just like, well, let us do it, and then we'll just take money. But you get that much. You'll get all the alcohol sales or whatever.
Right.
So.
There's tons of ways to chop that pie, so to speak.
Yep.
And yeah, that's one of the funnest parts for me, at least being in comedy, is making your own way, finding avenues, and just connecting with a bunch of different people, whether it's a comic, bar owner, a fan, radio host, you know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah, no, I'd say we're a lot more comics than we are radio. I mean, we're getting this thing down, but this is just another avenue of something to do, mostly.
One Tuesday at a time.
Yeah,
you got this.
Yeah, one Tuesday at a time. The times that we can wake up. I wonder if Marquay might have died. You don't know, though.
I was supposed to meet him today. Bummer.
Yeah. Whatevs. What kind of coffee you got?
So this is from Youngblood.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's I had a regular coffee from Purim, and then I was just like, you know what? We're doing the pod. we're going into a radio station. I need some energy. So we went to Youngblood. I got a shot of espresso. They got the double. And I just poured that right into my coffee. And here we are, baby.
Oh, nice. Dude, I was thinking about this the other day. There's always, like every occupation. You want to just close that door?
Yeah.
Every occupation, like they just get, 1 second here. I had something else playing on there. That might be annoying to some people during that. Every occupation just has coffee. Like it's like you're an accountant and things like that. It's like go get the coffee, every day. But then
what's that?
If you use that for like every occupation, there's like cops going to murder scene investigations with people with like hammers in their heads and being like, but first coffee. Being like, someone go get that. And then you can't be the guy on the scene who's like, you need to order that straight black. Right? Like you can't be on a murder scene investigation and be like, I'll take the dragon fruit slushy, like bring me that. They're like, damn it, Johnson. Like, stop ordering sprinkles on these horrific crime scenes. Yeah. Like, you also spilled it in his guts. So
is that froth on the ground?
Yeah,
what's going on?
Exactly. Like, no, that's actually from his mouth. He was rapid.
Yeah, I know. I've been drinking coffee for a long time, man, and I'm like, I go through spurts where it's like, sometimes I'm like 6 espresso shots a day trying to just get it done. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just having terrible anxiety.
Exactly.
Dude, every once in a while, I'll like have a couple energy drinks during the day or whatever. Like, boy, you don't expect those to actually have that much. I never have anxiety about anything. I'm always pretty chill. But then I'll just start thinking about stuff halfway through the day and wonder what happened to me. Like, oh, I had 4 monsters in like a 6-hour period. Like, this is actually not good for me.
Right.
Like, I might as well have done 5 Adderall.
Yeah. Shout out to Adderall. No,
dude, what's crazy is how kids eat Adderall. Like, looking at how many people had prescriptions for Adderall, I was like, this is insane that you guys got this so easy. Also, I only know people that abuse. There's no one I know that needed an Adderall prescription at all through college.
There's no one I know that doesn't abuse it.
Yeah.
And the funny part too is all those comics that are on Adderall are now those same comics these days that are going, oh, I'm on the spectrum.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, you're just on too much Adderall.
Yeah, that is true. It's like, what? I can't look anyone in the eye. Yeah, dude, because your pupils need to keep moving. Your body can't sit still.
Preach. Oh, my God. Any comic from now on that says I'm on the spectrum, I'm going to ask you if you've done Adderall first. Okay?
Yeah. What's your daily dosage?
Yeah. And are you still doing it? You know what I mean?
And then every once in a while, they'll have just like another name for it. You're like, well, what's that? And they're like, well, it's actually like Adderall, but it's just extended release. It's all the same.
It's in the family of Adderall. Oh, so meth?
Yeah,
it's in the family of meth, too. You know what I mean? We call this Vyvanse, yeah.
That's exactly what I was thinking of. Like,
yeah, I was on that stuff when I was a kid, and woo! Oh my God, yeah, definitely the 6 shots of espresso.
Yeah, imagine okay. It is crazy what they prescribe to children too, because you're like, wait, this is kind of like meth. Should you do meth? No, like, but this kid's kind of acting up in school. Better put him on.
This kid's got a energy problem. Let's give him some uppers.
Meth. Yeah,
that'll clear it right out. You know what I'm saying?
I wonder who the first person to come up with that was, to be like, this kid is out of control. He's super hyper. What if we just load him up on uppers?
What will happen?
Yeah, it must just break a fuse that brings you back around. Because if you give that to someone who doesn't, well, I actually have seen kids that have like the ADHD that don't just abuse it, that it truly does just like, they're like, I'm not hungry and I'm just a chill kid. Now you're like, are you taking Ritalin? Because isn't Ritalin make you, if I take a Ritalin, I'm up and about, but you're like chilled out. It must just like bring you past the 100% and then back down
that
to
extended
20.
Release.
Yeah.
No, what would happen it would be like, so you'd be chill at first, right?
Yeah.
And then, because I do have that crazy ADHD, ADD, whatever, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And I would take that medication, And the first 20 minutes, you'd be like, all right, when's it going to kick in? So you'd be like just waiting for it. You know what I mean? Like if you're doing a hallucinogen.
Yeah.
All right, 45 minutes, it's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
So then all of a sudden it kicks on and you're like, okay, I'm focused. I'm locked in. But then if a teacher, a friend, you see something on social media that triggers like a random thought.
Yeah.
You go down that rabbit hole so hard. And it's just like, that's how they invented time. Oh my God, I figured it out.
Yeah.
Right? It's crazy. So, but yeah, I mean, if you need it and it works for you, go ahead and do it. I'm not trying to say anything bad about that stuff. I'm just saying what I went through and what we see.
I am.
What we see on the stage, yeah.
It is really funny what you have to say now, too, where it's even like, drugs are bad. Not for everyone. You can't.
In my experience.
That's just what the world is now. It's like you can't say anything. Like, but this person, if it works for you. Same with like, well, some people, I mean, like, sure, everyone's tried some stuff, but it's like, there's the times where it's like mushrooms and stuff like that. People will just be like, yeah, and that just totally reset my life. And it's like, man, I know a lot of people who it did not reset their life, and they're just on another planet still.
Right. Well, you know what they say? It's, medicine until it's poison.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I don't know. I've seen, or there are some people back home where I'm from that were just went through some really traumatic stuff, whether it was like military or whatever. You know what I mean? And they did some boomers and they came out of it.
Well, there is. Yeah. The crazy thing is the therapeutic stuff of it. But
you're right. If you go into it trying to get better and not, I guess, like party, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, like whatever. Everyone does it for whatever reason. But like I've seen some people that were like depressed and now they're doing like microdoses.
Yep.
And they're a lot more pleasurable to be around.
Yeah.
And you don't even know if they're on it or not. It's just kind of like who they are now.
It's also funny when you find the people that have just wake and baked every day for how many years and then not even realizing it. You're like, oh, you're just high all the time. It is wild to.
Right. Yeah.
Then you're like, I guess I wonder what you're like, not like that.
And then with the legalization, at least in some states, what is it? Is it legal over here?
It's medical in North Dakota, but Minnesota's recreational.
Yeah. Arizona is recreational as well.
Yeah.
And when that happened, you would just see lines at dispensaries and just,
you're
like, whoa.
Yeah. The one thing I don't like about, I don't like Vegas being so lax about it because it truly does just smell like that everywhere in Vegas.
You walk that strip.
I think that it kind of did ruin Vegas, to be honest, because I've heard a lot of older people get like, it's like whatever, I don't want to sound boomerish and stuff, but
let's hear it.
Yeah, but all old people truly are like, I don't like going down there because of the smell anymore. It just smells like that everywhere on the strip, which it does, and I'm like, I guess I see that.
And I
used to be,
respect that too.
Yeah,
if you're not a smoker, like that's not the best smell.
Yeah. And it truly is. Like, if you go outside of, like, the Flamingo and
yes, I was just going to bring that up.
Stuff,
the Flamingo.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. They should just call it the skunk.
Yeah.
Because that's all you smell on that strip now. Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah. And it's like...
And to think the mafia created, like, Vegas, you know what I mean? To be like,
yeah.
Would the mob like this? You know what I mean? What's going on here?
Yeah. The mob is done.
I know.
The mob runs this radio station. No. Don't talk bad about the mob here.
Yeah.
I wonder if there had to have been a North Dakota mob, but that had to have been all just like running booze. I wonder how strong. There had to be like some Chicago people being like, there has to be something in North Dakota.
Right.
Sending some gangsters down.
Did you see that new Sylvester Stallone TV show? Oh, what is it called? Dang, I'm so sorry. Anyone that's listening to this, they're gonna kill me. Oh, what? It's like on HBO, but it's Sylvester Stallone is in the mob. He was in jail for a long time. He comes out and they send him to like Ohio, and Tulsa, the Tulsa King.
Okay,
that's what it is. Yep. And he's like, things are so different from when he's like was in the mob, on the streets. And he's like, how am I going to take over this town? And the first thing he does is takes over a dispensary.
Oh.
And it's the funniest thing ever. He's got like all this lipo suck, you know what I mean?
Yep.
He's he's like trying to keep it together, and you just see Stallone just come out as a mob, and it's hilarious.
Well, Sylvester Stallone toking up. Imagine if Sylvester Stallone actually smoking weed. Imagine him talking.
What does that sound like?
Yeah. if it just like turns him back to a regular,
I
all
was
of a sudden
gonna
he can
say.
talk just regular. Sylvester Stallone just talks regular, then all of a sudden he sobers up. He's like, "Yo, Adrian." Like that's just a character. You're playing Rocky. That's not how you. Why are you saying that in your regular voice,
Right.
Sylvester?
He takes an edible, and it's like the ADD medication for the people with
Yeah.
ADD. He's
like-
focused and
yeah.
he's okay.
Thanks a lot, Sly. Sly is actually a cool nickname.
That's a very
I wish, you ever have any sweet nicknames?
No, it's usually just like my initials. No, Josher is probably the coolest one I've ever got.
Josher, nice.
Yeah.
Dude, going by, you can't really go by your last name.
No,
Boyle. Toil
Boyle.
and Trouble.
Boylinator. No,
Boylinator.
that's like some of my coaches when I was doing like athletics would call me that.
Yep.
My younger brother's named Adam, and I'm jealous of his name because like he gets all the cool nicknames. Adam Bomb.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But then he also needs to sign his name, like, if he had to go first, last name, he's like, "Who are you?" Or like, "I'm a Boyle."
I guess you could look at it. Yeah. We have a lot of pride in our last name, so it's always like, I will boil you.
Oh, yeah. That's
You
the
try
way
to mess
look.
with me, I'm putting you in hot water, bro.
Oh, that's nice.
Come at. No, I'm just kidding.
What's the, was that Katie Boyle? Who is, like, the lady that...
In New York City, Katie Boyle, the comic, right?
Oh, no, I know Katie Boyle. I did shows with Katie Boyle. But I was trying to think, wasn't there a singer that was a Boyle?
Suzanne Boyle?
Yeah, that Susan Boyle.
Susan Boyle.
Yeah. Because that was funny, because there's just, like, this lady is an amazing singer. They're like, "But look at her." And you're like, "That's rude." That's pretty much what it was. It's like those were all the headlines. Like, can you believe this woman who isn't like super hot can sing like this? And everyone's like, "Yeah, I mean, yeah, her voice does."
You know what? Shamefully, I've never heard one Susan Boyle song.
I'm
sorry, Susan. I'm gonna listen on the ride home. Okay.
I think they only listen. I think it truly was only. Well, it was just Simon Cowell being like, "Can you believe that you sing pretty well, but look at you." You know, it was like not a great thing.
Dang, I thought there
And
was
it took
another...
America. It took America by storm.
Okay, that was not the Susan Boyle I was thinking about. I thought there was an actual legit Susan Boyle that was a singer. Well,
Yeah.
not saying she isn't legit. I'm saying like an established, like
She became established after that.
was she? Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. You know what? I'm still thinking.
but
it
it
was
was
a
like
different one.
it was like early 2000s.
Gotcha. Well, good for her.
Katie Boyle. Yeah, that is. You know Katie Boyle?
I've heard of her. I think I've seen her. I'm trying to think if she was at Skankfest or not.
No, she's fun. She was here not a couple months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, did I host all those shows? I was on at least a couple shows were that weekend.
Where were you guys performing at?
The Cellar down here in Fargo.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yep. James mentioned the. You mentioned the Cellar too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
Okay.
the Cellar rips. Cellar's the best. I mean, it's becoming a lot less of a hidden secret now that so many comics have done it. So it's
Yeah.
like getting out. So we got.
How many people does it seat?
It's like a 90-seater.
Oh, perfect. Intimate
90
comedy
seater.
show. Low ceiling.
Low ceiling.
In the cellar.
Tiny
in the
low.
cellar? Yeah.
It's usually we usually do 3 shows a weekend now.
okay.
Two in the summer, but it's usually 1 on Friday, 2 on Saturdays.
Nice.
They're
Yeah.
usually sold. Well, especially in the winter. I'm sure that's kind of how it is in for summer in Arizona. But all the shows in the winter comedy season,
Yeah.
just pretty much all sold out. We're good.
Nice.
We'll get some.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, Skankfest. My buddy he's going to be on there. Cam Leedy.
Okay. He's going down to New Orleans.
Yeah, he just texted me. What day was this? I woke up to a text and he's just like, who has 2 thumbs and is doing Skankfest? I'm like, nice. I went down there a couple of years ago.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I wasn't on the shows, but I was just like,
Where'd
went
you
down
go?
there in
Vegas or Houston? Okay,
Vegas.
Okay,
Must have
nice.
been 2. Yeah, and then my one buddy got. Well, I went down there with my one buddy, and then our other friend met us down there. Our other friend just got out of his mind and just kind of wasn't really with us, and it really upset.
can
Then my
happen.
other friend that I flew down there with got really upset early on stuff that other guy was doing. So he's like, "I don't hate to do this to you. I'm just not going to be fun." So he just flew back. So I just pretty much did it solo, which was still pretty fun, just being able to.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That is one festival where you can go solo make friends, and have friends after.
Oh, 100%. Well, and also my buddy, too, was like, I wouldn't do this to most people, but I know you can thrive in this environment, just like being by yourself. So, yeah, it is a fun. I mean, yeah, everyone's super.
They had a really good venue in Vegas, too, where it was an old movie theater.
Oh, it ruled.
Tying back to movies. Here we go. The business model for movie theaters. Have a comedy festival there.
That is really what they should do for a lot of those. That's a Fargo. I mean, they'd have like a comedy festival, but it would only be like, okay, we got a couple headliners at the theater, where it's not really
gotcha. Yeah.
Little one where I'm like with like the Cellar, Fargo Theater. I've done shows at this place called Proof that's over here. That's like a distillery that we have a pretty good setup now for that. And even a couple other places around. I mean, we could probably get a pretty good one going right here within like a couple blocks of downtown.
I was going to say, if you can get one place with 2 rooms, you got it. That's all you
one place
need.
with 2 rooms, but also the walking distance in Fargo. I mean, it's just this downtown. Or if you had like 3-4 locations that are just within a couple blocks of each other.
That'll work too. Yeah.
That's about what...
Because it's always fun to show hop. You know what I mean? Where you have options to be like, this person's performing here, but also this person's performing here. Or how Skankfest did it, where they have comics going like 24/7 in one room. So no matter what you were doing, if you had to wait an hour or 2 hours for the show you wanted, you could go to that room, chill, watch some comics that you've never seen before.
Yeah.
And it was great.
Yeah, no,
Great
it's
setup.
nice. Yeah, because then... Yeah, and just that little Denny's area with Notoriety.
Yes.
It's called, right?
Oh,
just
yeah.
how you could just walk up to whatever spot. I mean, they had like, 6-7 rooms at least in that area? And then
I think it was 7 plus the wrestling ring.
Yeah.
Can't call it boxing because of the Vegas commission.
I mean, those games were also really fun to watch, just whatever they were doing. Where it's like,
they had,
you just need to like spank someone or get their socks.
The first year I went, it was in Houston, right? So this year I just got invited again. It'll be my 5th year video producing with them. And the first year, they were like, how do we make this boxing ring interesting? And they were like, you know what? We're going to put 5 dudes in there, blindfold them, and they're going to fight like that.
Yeah.
And it was like jackass boxing.
Yep.
Where you just see people like throwing haymakers and the other person just looking into the haymakers and just getting sucked.
Yeah, it's super fun to watch down there. I had a great time.
Hilarious. Definitely recommend it to any comedy fan.
Yeah, I should have just volunteered and gone down there again this year to...
I could probably help you out.
Oh, maybe we'll talk.
We'll talk after this, yeah.
Yeah, because
it's in November this year, I think.
Yeah, because usually it's in like September or October.
Exactly.
So they moved it back a little bit, which is kind of nice.
I don't know what... I
also don't know the weather.
Yeah, in New Orleans.
I wonder if it's less humid then, though, in New Orleans a little bit.
I went to New Orleans in, I think it was like July, actually.
Oh, yeah.
And it was so humid. The moment you got out of the car, you were wiping your face.
Well, that's the same thing. I mean, you came up here from Phoenix. The funny thing is going down to Phoenix sometimes and people saying... especially up here, where they're like, "Well, you go down to Phoenix. That's a hot heat. That's not as bad." I'm like, "What? It's heat. It's super." Then we went down there. I think we went there for like a Foo Fighters concert a couple years ago.
Oh, nice.
And so then walking out there, me and my one buddy went there. Everyone's telling us how it's dry heat, so it's fine. And then we get there and we walk out, and my buddy goes, "If this is what heaven's like, just send me to hell."
Yeah.
Or wait, how did he say something? It was something dumb.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah. Because I was just like, this is miserable. I'm like, let's just walk around this neighborhood and see what's up. Nope, you get out just
it's tough, man. Like we were talking in the beginning. I describe it like, okay, in the summer, if you stick your hand out the window of the car, right, and you feel that hot air, it feels like sandpaper.
Yeah.
Like, it's just not fun. It's not fun.
No, yeah, just... yeah, I like heat a lot more than... That was like one of the few times in my life, because I'm like... A lot of people always do say, and I mean, I get their thinking where they say that in the cold, at least they can just put on a lot more stuff or take it off.
Right.
But you can only take off so much. And my thinking is still, I'd rather just not have to put on a lot of things. So
right. I know, it's so interesting because I'm from Massachusetts, where the winters were cold, nasty. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And one of the benefits of moving to Arizona was the heat all year round. But then you got thinking, you're like, man, if I was in an apocalypse type of situation and it was me versus the heat or me versus the cold, you know?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
You know what is funny? There's no apocalypse movies where it's like cold at the end.
That is very
Every
true.
like Mad Max thing is always like, let's all try to murder each other in this extreme heat desert.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Because most of the science is pointing to a nuclear winter.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, because the other thing is, if you were all cold, I think if everything is hot and you don't need to worry about like warmth, then you can just get to like, find food and whatever. And then if you're all cold, you probably all need to work together more just to stay alive.
More camaraderie.
Yeah,
for sure.
That's true. You know what? We need cold in this world.
We need more cold.
You know,
okay?
we need an ice age right now to bring the world together.
Oh my God, you said it.
Yeah, we get an ice age, and then we just start a nuclear war to get it warmer.
Come together.
Yeah,
right now.
Dude, I bet that would be
Over cold.
That's good. That might be one of the things that they do. Think of the world. They're like, we're going to an ice age. I bet there would be some scientists who all of a sudden just propose the idea, we could just nuke a couple places to bring the heat up. And I bet that would be thought about for a little bit because, I mean, not everyone's the wisest in the bunch.
Oh, my God. That's so funny. My head went a totally different way. I was just like, if that's going to happen, right, and it's going to be like an ice age,
yeah,
I'm getting into the ice skating business, man. Like,
oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
My mind just went right to money. Like,
that's what you should do. Well, the other people that are requesting that you nuke the world are probably also thinking about money and only surviving with less people.
Oh, my God.
You ever hear those stories about the asteroids and such that are flying around that has like this much gold and stuff, and then like that would mean everyone in the world gets $1 billion.
Oh, I haven't heard about this.
In my
Tell
mind,
me.
well, yeah, I'd see it all the time of just like the minerals on this asteroid that are driving by are all gold, silver, plutonium, whatever that they have.
That's really
you know?
interesting, yeah.
But then all the stories say if we got this, then it would cure world hunger because everyone would have $1 billion on Earth. You could be able to separate that. But in my mind, I'm like, well, if everyone has $1 billion, then everyone would. That doesn't help anyone.
Right, exactly.
Because then all of a sudden everything else goes up that much more money. You still can't afford. Everyone has that.
Yep. And honestly, if our planet got hit with an asteroid that was made of gold and we had a plethora of gold, I think the aliens would come back, bro.
Oh yeah,
and they would just be like, "Yep."
Isn't that Cowboys versus Aliens?
Pretty much. Yeah.
But they're mining it in that. Yeah.
So
they need to start making more movies like that where you combine like I guess they've always had like Alien versus Predators and stuff, Cowboys and Aliens.
Man, they made that Alien versus Predator or just the Predator. Oh man, that whole movie franchise is going into another universe. No pun intended. Did you see the latest one where it was like the Predator versus indigenous people? Oh, they did it really good. And the main character was a female. And it just shows like all these like kind of like warrior concepts instead of like military.
Yeah.
On how to like verse Predator, and check it out.
Nice.
It's so good.
I'll check it out. So good. Well, Predators are the Predators the one that you? Oh no, or is that Aliens that like see in
Predator? Yeah. That's the one with the original like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah. So they have quite the advantage over the indigenous people being able to see like
right, but then the indigenous people put mud on them so they can't see it. So it's like that whole thing where they figure it out, and I can't say enough good stuff, but it's one of those things where in like those movies, what I like to do, this is going to probably kill some people, but I watch the first 10 minutes and then I skip to the last 10 minutes.
Okay.
And then I start over again.
See the middle?
Exactly.
You ACB it, huh?
I do. Yeah, pretty much. And yeah, it was just so cool to see how they took down the Predator in this movie and just everything about it. Go check it out.
Yeah, that's neat. So you must have been into film and stuff for quite a while.
You know what it was, man? Yeah, it was like growing up, I was a music video kid. So I could, like, even to this day, I can go on the treadmill for like an hour, go on YouTube and just watch like old music videos from the 90s, early 2000s.
That rules. That's how it. This is how I always think of 9/11. Actually,
Tell me, please tie that in.
I woke up and the top 20 countdown wasn't on VH1 because I was like, "What's going on here?"
Something must have happened.
Yeah, I was in like 5th grade. I'm like, why they keep showing this stupid news? I was 11, so I didn't have like a big comprehension of how big it was, and I was like, Mom, what's up with this? Like, top 20 countdown's not on, so then I changed it to Cartoon Network, being like, at least this lap. Nope, same thing.
Right.
Like, thanks a lot, Osama.
That was like the first thing in my life where you could ask anybody, like, where were you when this was happening? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was in 7th grade health class. And then we went to lunch, and we had like TVs in the lunchroom, and every TV had the towers on it. And we were just eating lunch being like, what's going to happen? Like, this chocolate pudding don't taste good today. You know what I mean?
I guess you would have been the same time zone as them too, huh?
Yeah. So it was exactly New York. Yeah. So it was really kind of freaky for it to be like that close. And I had some New York friends that were like, we had to leave school.
Yeah, because ours was, well, I'd hope so. If they made you stay in school in New York City, they're like, no. Because,
Facts.
I was, because I'm from the other side of the state originally. So that's even another hour behind this.
Oh,
so
okay.
that was it was at like 9 a.m. New York time or whatever, right? So then it was like 7 a.m. my time, being like pop-up video isn't on.
Right. Yeah. So you're waking up seeing this.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I'm like, I want Chumbawamba facts. I don't want to see this tower fall.
Yeah. And we were still like, I was considered like 7th grade, still young. So I was just like, what is even happening?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, and then we had one substitute teacher that ran around the school being like, they're going to start the draft. They're going to start. And we were like, what are you talking about? She got fired. But anyways.
Dude, we had a bunch of crazy people because we also just had, I heard people being like, you know what? Osama bin Laden's hiding in America because that's the only place we're not looking. We're looking overseas. And I'm like, you don't think that they would just kind of see him here? It's like,
right. Yeah. He will definitely stick out. Yeah.
I'm like, way to just spread that we should be worried about everyone here, you idiots.
Dude, and what was even more freakier about that, I think it was like a couple months ago on TikTok, there was like that recent trend where a bunch of Gen Z were like, no, he was actually good.
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
Yeah. It's
crazy how generations work like that.
Truly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Generation, no breathing.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I ever hear like suffocation, if there's anything with 4 syllables, I'd go straight to Papa Roach.
Yeah. Dude, I just worked with Annie Letterman in Tampa.
Nice.
And she comes out to that song. And I was just like, oh, yeah.
Dude, that's such a big hype song for our generation.
Oh, my God, yeah.
And so in my generation by Limp Bizkit as well.
Preach, yep. As much as people give Fred Durst hate, I mean, he did it.
Dude,
you gotta love some of his stuff.
Not to be that guy, but I never was off the train of like Limp Bizkit. There was a little bit where I fell under like the Nickelback's just whatever, you know, like, and then, but then
you heard Rockstar and changed your life, right? I'm kidding.
Yeah, dude, I was with them on like Silver Side Up initially.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. This is how you remind me.
That was my first concert was
oh, wow.
Nickelback and Course of Nature opened for them. I believe that was my first concert. It was either Lifehouse and Three Doors Down or Nickelback and Course of Nature, because I saw them consecutive. Those were like my first concerts in consecutive years, and I don't remember exactly which one was first.
You know what's so crazy is these days they refer to bands like that, Nickelback, Stained, Three Doors Down, Breaking Benjamin, as Divorced Dad. Yeah, man, I'm like, no. I'm like, what?
That is it is crazy though. That is kind of what it was when we were younger. Now it's just like our age stuff. But the people that were like really hard into that, like the whole time, I always liked them, but I was just kind of like, don't know if I can tell people I like this, but I always did.
Closeted
like
divorced dad music.
Yeah. I'm a closeted divorced dad.
Oh my God.
But yeah, with that stuff, it was kind of like, I always liked the music, but the people who were really listening to it when we were in high school were like the divorced dads. You know, because that was like
Facts.
the 30 to 40-year-old people
Now, on
were
top of that,
listening
too,
to that music.
those bands had some great music videos.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. Like, I loved a bunch of Stained music videos. Like,
Fuel.
the Limp Bizkit music videos, come on. Starting from $3 Bill.
Yeah.
Like, all the way. I would say the first 3 Limp Bizkit albums, I was on par.
Yeah.
And the music videos, too, very... hate to say it, inspiring.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They
Oh,
made
yeah.
you think like, oh, I could do this. I've got an idea.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, no, I dig all that. Korn
I like Korn.
or the Limp Bizkit music video where they have all those cameos. I
Yeah.
think it's Break Stuff.
Yep, I believe so.
Yeah. Great music. You see Dr. Dre, you see Jonathan Davis, you see even Eminem.
Oh, yeah, that is kind of funny to
Right in the middle of
have
like Jerry.
Eminem during all that stuff.
Yeah. Because we were like right in the middle of like Jerry Springer culture then too.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I
the
mean?
best. All you
Yeah.
wanted to see is people fight.
Exactly.
Put
The
'em in
WWE
Yep.
at that point, the Attitude Era. You know what I mean?
That was the best. We talk about that frequently here.
Oh, really?
I'm
Yeah, nice.
Well, I always bring it up, and then Marquay is always like, I don't know what that is. And it's always me. Oh, I bring it up. What I should say is I bring it up and talk about it. And then I
Let's
show.
talk about
Yeah.
it, doggy. Who's your favorite Attitude wrestler?
Well, Stone Cold.
Let's
I mean, you can't.
give me an oh yeah.
Yeah. You can't go. Stone Cold was everyone's favorite. You can't there's no more
God,
rock.
yeah.
Here's the thing where Stone Cold's a lot like comedians.
Mm.
Due to the fact that the ones that you see that are the most natural to themselves are the
Yes.
ones that resonate more. Like some people can have an act that's not like them at all, but for the most part, it seems like if you know that comic is kind of like that, they truly just kind of resonate more with the audience because they know it's real.
Yeah. I was watching the Stone Cold interview and they were asking him like, how do you channel the Stone Cold? Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
And he's like, honestly, this is just a heightened version of myself.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Only in a way more badass voice.
yeah. This is just a
Honestly,
yeah.
this is how we do, brother. Drink 1 Miller Lite. Yeah. 2 Miller Lights.
Yeah.
I guess had another beer, shot of tequila, another shot of tequila.
Yep,
Dude, that's
yep.
one of the best things ever.
Oh my God. And you know what's so funny too is like back then I was not a fan of The Rock.
No, neither was I. Hated him.
Yep. Because I was a Stone Cold dude.
Yep. But I had other friends that were just like most electric man in sports.
Oh yeah. You jabroni?
Yeah.
And
Him-
but now
Yeah.
I love The Rock.
And
And I go
especially if
back-
you go back. Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
I'll just throw on YouTube. That'll be like my Sundays sometimes. It's just throwing on. Well, also, if you go through the Kane and Undertaker whole storyline, now you can just put the storyline on that's cut perfectly on YouTube. And it rules. It's the
so
best.
funny. This Paul Bearer.
Yeah.
This is your brother.
Yeah.
You made a tree fall on him.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, dude, it's the best. Well, you know who I also liked? Scotty Too Hottie. Scotty Too Hottie and Rikishi. Dude, Scotty Too Hottie.
Yeah.
Scotty Too Hottie was the man. His special was the worm. Yeah.
Did you try doing the worm when you were a kid?
Oh, I can do the worm actually
You
pretty
can still
well.
do it now?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. I probably broke my back like 5 times trying to do the worm when I was a
Yep.
kid. You know what I mean?
I picked it
on the concrete, just trying to show off in front of your parents. Like,
Dude, I surprisingly, not to toot my own horn here, I surprisingly picked up on the worm way easier than I should have.
right, well, you're kind of a tall, lengthy guy.
Yeah, I'm actually sneaky athletic.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, but yeah, being able to do the worm, pretty cool.
My younger brother, shout out to Adam again, he could do the worm like so easily. He tried it twice and got the whole,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Me, I went down, smacked my face the first time, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Tried it again, my stomach got in the way. I looked like, instead of the worm, I looked like a turtle on his back, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was just so bad.
Looking like a turtle on his back on your stomach.
Yeah, exactly. Just like,
Nice. Well, actually, our time's coming up here. Do you got anything you want to plug here, Josh?
yeah. So like I was talking before, the video production company that I run is called Heavy Feathers. We are looking to get into more comedy festivals. And if you're a local comic that has an hour worth of material and you need a special to get you going, get some fans, get on tour, get on the road, let Heavy Feathers know. That's Heavy Feathers at Instagram and heavyfeathers.tv.
Awesome. Check them out. What else do we got going on? Summer does slowed down a little bit here, but we'll have a show at Fort Knox outside on July 19th. Me, Marquay Belcher, Nathan Fulsebach, Josh Delay. See who else? Ruby Richard. Just kind of a showcase that we'll do up there. Then I'll be with Colin Terrell hosting all those shows.
Ooh, nice.
Well, yeah, I'll host the shows. I think Daniel, I got to forget what his name is. Yeah, I'm just hosting the shows. But
Colin's good stuff.
August 23rd, 24th. So get tickets for that. He rules. Otherwise, check out The Cellar for all the other shows going on. Other than that, we will see you guys next week. Thank you. Thanks, Josh.
Later.
I don't wanna be sick to my stomach.